Greetings, Iain from RTO here. Welcome to another live album ranking show, which means we're at Friday. Hooray! Busy week. Okay, today we're going to do a little bit of shock rock for you. We're going to look at the live albums of Alice Cooper and the Alice Cooper Band. I've put them all together. Don't have to do much introduction. Alice Cooper Band was formed in 1969 with Vincent Furnier, Dennis Dunway, and they got together, had released 4 or 5 albums. Alice changed his name legally to Alice Cooper and started a solo career in 1975, and the rest is history. He's sold over 50 million records, and he has released 10 live albums, official ones, so we'll have a look at those 10 now. So coming in at number 10 we go to 2007 and an album called Extension Versions. Now this is one of these Sony cheap budget albums, and it's taken from 2 concerts, one in 1989 at the NEC in Birmingham and the other at the Cincinnati Gardens in Cincinnati in 1990. So their idea is just to bung a few live tracks from other albums, splice them together badly and throw them out as a cheap album. So on here we've got I'm 18, House of Fire, Bed of Nails, which is a pretty okay track, Poison, Under My Wheels, No More Mr. Nice Guy, Ballad of Dwight Fry, Welcome to My Nightmare, Cold Ethel and Skulls Out. Haven't got this, don't want it. I've heard these albums before and they're not very well put together, so I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 purely on the songs. Okay, then coming in at number 9, this is an album released in 1977 in December, and it was recorded during the summer in August at the Las Vegas Holiday Hotel, and it's called The Alice Cooper Show. This was at the time where he was drinking a lot and constant touring, so he was pretty worn out, and you can sort of tell it in the performance. So on this, performing with him on here is Steve Hunter on guitar, Dick Wagner on guitar, Prakash John on the bass, Fred Mandel on keyboards, and Whitney Glenn on the drums. This opens up with the classic Under My Wheels, followed by I'm 18, Women Bleed, Sick Things from $1 Million Babies. It's a little short thing, and then that goes into It's My Body, I'll Never Cry, which is from Alice Cooper Goes to Hell, which is not a bad track, $1 Billion Babies, and then we get the Devil's Food and the Black Widow, absolutely brilliant on here. You and Me, which is from Lace and Whiskey, which is not one of my favourites. I Love the Dead and Go to Hell and Wish You Were Here, sort of spliced together as a medley, and then School's Out. It's not a bad album. The sounds a little bit iffy in places, and Alice just sounds strained at time, but hey ho, there's still a bit of nostalgia, so I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Coming in at number 8 then, this is an album released in 1992 but was actually recorded in 1969, and the album is called Live at the Whiskey A Go Go. It's credited to Vincent Furnier, also known as Alice Cooper, on vocals and harmonica, Glenn Buxton on lead guitar, Michael Bruce on rhythm, Dennis Dunway on the bass, Neil Smith on the drums. So it's the Alice Cooper Band. So it's only a single album, and you get No Longer, Umpire, Today, Moulier, 10 Minutes Before the Worm, Levity Ball, Nobody Likes Me, BB on Mars, Slow, Swing, Sing Low, Sweet, Cheerio, and Changing Around. Very short album, very raw sounding, but nostalgic. So it's a delightful little album. It's got the, when they first started out, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.2. Okay, then coming in at number 7, that's 2010 now, and this album was recorded at the Hammersmith Odeon in 2009, and it's called Theatre of Death, live at Hammersmith. Joining Alice on air is Chuck Garrick, who's played on the bass with him for quite a few years now. Drums was Jimmy Grasso, guitars were Damon Johnson and Kerry Kelly. This opens up with a very short piece of Schools Out that goes into Department of Youth. Then we get I'm 18 and Wicked Young Man, Ballad of Dwight Fry, Go to Hell and Guilty, Welcome to My Nightmare. And we get the little sort of theatrical bit with Poison and Cold Ethel, Awakening from Inside, Nurse Rosetta, Is It My Body, Be My Lover, Only Women Bleed, I'll Never Cry, The Black Widow, Vengeance Is Mine, The Wonderful Devil's Food, Dirty Diamonds, $1 Billion Babies, Killer, I Love the Dead, No More Mr. Nice Guy, Under My Wheels, and then back into Schools Out. Sterling performance by Alice in the band, but it does lack atmosphere. There's no clapping in between, sort of shun them away. That's why it's so low. You know, it's a great gig with no atmosphere, and it sounds a bit hollow in places as well. I don't know why. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6.5. Okay, then coming in at number 6. Now this was an album and a live video, and it was recorded at the Montreux Festival in 2005 and released in 2006. And joining Alice on this one is Eric Singer on the drums, Chuck Garrick on the bass, Ryan Roxy on guitars, and Damon Johnson on guitars. It's got dancers coming on, and they're done by Calvin and Calcio Cooper, Angela Grossi and Venus Barr. Opens up with Department of Youth, this one does. Then we go straight into No More Nice Mr. Nice Guy, bit of Dirty Diamonds, followed by some $1 Billion Babies, Be My Lover, Lost in America, I'll Never Cry, Woman of Mass Distraction. You don't get, I think this is the only live version I've got of that. I'm 18, and then between high school and old school, again, not many live versions of that. What Do You Want From Me, Is It My Body, Gimme, Feed My Frankenstein, Welcome to My Nightmare, Schools Out, Poison, which always sounds better live. I Wish I Was Born in Beverly Hills, and rolls off with Under My Wheels. Great tracks, a lot of stuff off Dirty Diamonds. What it does lack though is clapping. There's a bit there, but not enough for me. I like to hear the crowd cheering and clapping and all that sort of business. So I'll give this one an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 5 is an album released in 1997, and it is called A Fistful of Alice, and it was recorded in 1996 at Sammy Hagar's Cabo Wabo Club in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Guest appearances here by Rob Zombie and Slash. So, and it was also repackaged and just called Live at Cabo in 2005. I don't know why they do this, money making. So, first track is Schools Out, which features Rob Zombie, sorry, I've called him Ron for some reason, and Sammy Hagar. Then we get Under My Wheels, I'm 18, Desperado. Again, I haven't got a live version of that. Lost in America, and Slash is on it. Again, another track that isn't on any of the other albums, Teenage Lament 74. Great track, I Never Cry, Poison, No More Mr. Nice Guy, Welcome to My Nightmare, Only Women Bleed featuring Slash. No, Slash has played that when Guns N' Roses have done it. Feed My Frankenstein, Rob Zombie, and he plays on Elected as well. And the last track is Anyone Home. I like this. There's a lot of fun in this. Everyone seemed to have a really good time, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.6. Okay, coming in at number 4, album released 2012, recorded in 2011 in London at the Alexandra Palace, which is that big place on the top of the hill. There was a world soapbox racing there. I'm being a bit sad there, so there we are. So joining Alice on this one is Tommy Henkinson on guitars, Glenn Sobel on the drums, Oranthe on guitars as well. She is a great guitar player. This opens up with the Black Widow. What a start. Straight into the brutal planet, and I'm 18 and under my wheels. What a great start to the show. And it gets better. We get $1 Billion Babies. No More Mr. Nice Guy. Hey Stupid. And Is It My Body? And you think that you go, well, this is, what can I do next? They do Halo of Flies. I'll Bite Your Face Off, Muscle of Love, Only Women Bleed, Cold Ethel, Feed My Frankenstein, Poison, Wicked Young Man, I Love the Dead, School's Out, Elected and Fire. I'll Bring You Fire. Yes, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. And Alice does it great. Again, a great album. Opens up with a great track. Black Widow. You're always going to be on a good thing. It's a great show. The crowd are involved. You can hear it. It's a great atmosphere. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Coming in at number 3 then. Now this is an album released in 2018, and it's A Paranormal Evening with Alice Cooper, that was recorded in Paris at the Olympia Theatre. So joining Alice was Nita Strauss, another great female guitarist, Tommy Hendrickson, Ryan Roxy, Chuck Garrick on the bass, Glenn Sobel as usual on the drums. Opens up with Brutal Planet. Great opening track for any gig. No More Mr. Nice Guy, Under My Wheels, Department of Youth. Then Pain, which don't hear many live versions of that. $1 Billion Babies, The World Needs Guts, Woman of Mass Destruction, a good track. Poison, Halo of Flies again, Feed My Frankenstein, Cold Ethel, Only Women Bleed, and Paranoid Personality. Great version of that. Ballad of Dwight Fry, Killer and I Love the Dead, I'm 18 and School's Out. Once again, a great concert. Production on this is superb. It's one of my favourite live albums from Alice, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. Coming in at number 2 then. Now this was released in 2014 as a CD and DVD. It's recorded on the 3rd of August at 2 in 2013 at the Wacken Festival. It's called Raise the Dead. Joining Alice here is on guitars is Oranthe, Ryan Roxy and Tommy Hendrickson, and the ever-present Glenn Sobel and Chuck Garrick on the bass. Start off with Hello Hurrah, House of Fire. Great track, great start. No More Mr. Nice Guy, Under My Wheels, I'll Bite Your Face Off, $1 Billion Babies, Caffeine, which is brilliant, Department of Youth, Hey Stupid, Dirty Diamonds, Welcome to My Nightmare, Go to Hell, He's Back, The Man Behind the Mask. Brilliant how they do that on stage. Feed My Frankenstein, Ballad of Dwight Fry, Killer, I Love the Dead. Then we have a bit of a medley of covers. Break On Through from the other side, from the Doors, Revolution, Beatles, Foxy Lady, Jimi Hendrix, My Generation, The Who. Then we go I'm 18, Poison, and then a bit of School's Out and another Brick in the Wall, which sort of go together. Again, whack and deliver. It's a great live album, it's a great performance, and I will do a DVD review of that and go into more depth about this, because it's brilliant. Play this a lot. It's on Spotify, so just put in Alice Cooper Wacken and 2013 and you'll get this. Play it loud, be proud, and I'll give this an RTO ranking of 8.8. So coming in at number 1, it's a bit personal. It's probably not everybody's choice, but it's because it was the first tour that I saw him on. It was recorded on the 9th of July at Hammersmith Apollo on the Brutal tour, and It's like brutally live. There's a DVD to this as well, which I've got somewhere in my box of DVDs. And joining Alice here was Ryan Roxy, Pete Friesen on guitars, Greg Smith was bass, Eric Singer's on the drums, and then lots of dancers, including Calcio, his daughter again, and Calvin as well. So opens up with a storming version of Brutal Planet, then goes into Gimme Go to Hell. Good start. Blow Me a Kiss, track I really like. I'm 18, Feed My Frankenstein. Wicked Young Man, No More Mr. Nice Guy, It's Hot Tonight, Caught in a Dream, It's the Little Things, love that track. Poison, Take It Like a Woman, Only Women Bleed, You Drive Me Nervous, Under My Wheels, School's Out, $1 Billion, Babies, a little bit of My Generation, and goes straight into Elected. As I said, it's a bit personal while this is my number one. You know, fun memories of this gig. What a gig all round. Dio then followed by Alice Cooper. And this is probably why it's my favourite, because I was there. Well, not at the Apollo, but at the NEC, but a few days later. So it's just a great show and fun memories. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. So there we go, folks. Bit of Alice Cooper on a Friday. Great live. So if he ever comes and you've never seen him, it's worth it, because you don't just get this great music, you get a show, you get the theatrics, and that's what makes it so fantastic to watch. That's all for this. I'll be back later where we'll be reviewing the brand new album from Hawkwind, The Future Never Waits, and we've also got today a birthday top 10 to do for Hugh. It's his birthday today, so we'll be looking at the top 10 on the day he was born. So all that to come, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.